This is a double page spread from Mojo that I've chosen to analyse. I think the first thing that you notice is on the right hand side is the image of the artist. You notice she's very natural, sitting down, chilled out, casual clothing, not a lot of makeup. She seems to be thinking, sitting on the stairs. The photo covers the whole page and the writing is just over the photo, which I think is really cool. I think her stance and her fashion definitely fits well with the genre because they don't make a lot of effort, it's all very casual. There's a quote, really small quote here to go with the photo. It's a quote from her interview on the left hand side, where she's talking about going home and chilling out, and the whole chilling out also matches with the photo. The font that they've used here is very fun and childish. It looks as if someone's just handwritten it, which I think is really cool. But then in the actual article they've gone back to an ordinary font. The bold "come as you are" would entice people to read more. They want to see what she's talking about, and they've gone over it. It looks like chalk they've used to go over it, which is also very interesting use of imagery there. It sort of separates the article from the artist. It's an interview, it's not a Q&A, and there's another bold letter. The start letter of the whole interview is larger than the rest, and a lot of magazines have done that I've looked at so far. It's very dark colours contrasting with the white text, so it makes the white text really easy to read. It makes it stand out a lot. They've chosen a very plain background for the photo. This makes the artist, stand out a lot more. Dark colours, and they've got the lighting just right so that you see her face and the shadowing behind her. Make sure that you know that she's the centre of attention in this magazine. This is the contents page for the Mojo magazine, and the first thing that I noticed is the large portrait image here of another artist. It's in colour as opposed to the front cover, which is all black and white, and I'm guessing that's because it's an older photo, whereas this is a more new artist, more modern. Her makeup is very minimal and her hair is very messy and casual fashion, which is contrasting to pop magazines where there's airbrushed and all the latest fashion. It's a very casual photo, and I think that's representative of the genre that she's in. You also notice the bold and central title, contents. It's on a yellow background, white and yellow, so it really stands out. Here you've got the issue, which is 267, and then you've got the date as well here. I said about the yellow background, it makes the white stand out and the red, but not where they look odd. The colours work very well together. At the bottom here, which is interesting, there's a quote from the artist, and then there's the page number where you can see the rest of the interview. So that's quite interesting. It will sort of entice people to think, oh yeah, I'll read the rest of that because that quote sounds really interesting. On the right hand side again, all the contents writing seems to be on the right hand side of the page. They've got page numbers down the side in red, nice and bold. Cover stories, which is about the artist that was on the front cover. And then they've got just other spin-off stories down here. And the fonts of each of them are in bold, and they've just used a nice plain font, easy to read, so that people won't struggle to find where the story is as well with the bold page numbers. Interestingly, the magazine title Mojo, I'll just move this, is actually behind the artist, so you can't actually see what it's called, which is quite interesting. It was the same with Kerrang that I previously researched. And the magazine costs £4.99, which is much more than Kerrang, about £2 more. That says something about the target audience as well, because you can see that it's probably an older person that's got more money to spend on a magazine, whereas Kerrang's target audience is definitely a younger, more hip, sort of with it teenager. This is a magazine Mojo that I bought. I'm going to do my second magazine analysis on this. The first thing you notice are the inducements, I think. You've got the CD here and you've got the free CD up in the corner. It's in the left hand corner, which is interesting because when you have magazines put on a shelf, they're stacked in front of each other. So this is pretty much all people will see, and that will entice them to want to buy it. they've also put the CD on the left, so they'll see that as well. They've used pink and yellow colours, which are very contrasting colours, so it makes it stand out more. So the artist is in pink and yellow, very contrast in there. All down here, all these other things that might tempt you to buy it. The free CD is in bold and yellow. The artist's name is obviously in a bigger font than everything else because they're the main inducement really for the magazine. You've got a smaller image up here in the top right hand corner, and it says Neil Young, His Darkest Hour, so I'm guessing that's just a side story that will be in there, but if anyone's a fan, you can see who their target audience is just from the front cover really, because you've got the Sex Pistols, that's a certain sort of maybe older people. They've used a black and white photo as well, as you can see here, so that's definitely going to be for an older target